Alright, I have to get the 12-volt fridge off of the crank battery, which means I'm going to rewire the factory 12-volt socket here in the back to be connected to the house fuse block. I'm gonna have to route through here and route through here and up in the glove compartment here. Alright, this subwoofer enclosure needs to come out so I can access the wiring behind there. These footman loops need to come out, so I need to get a Torx driver. Alright, once these bolts are out, I believe there is a panel up here behind the roll bar, that little plastic piece that just pops off. And there's screws underneath here. There we go. So this whole backing behind the roll bar, between the window and the roll bar, comes off entirely. Just toss that aside, and I can slide that up and out of the way. And now I have unrestricted access. Once the nut is off the back here, and these Torx bolts are out, the whole thing should move pretty freely. It's hard to maneuver, it's pinned in there, so I'm going to take this tray, the cargo tray, out. There we go. There we go. Also, be careful not to break any plastic tabs like I did. Hopefully this wasn't important. So the whole subwoofer enclosure is disconnected. Now all that's left is this wiring harness in the back corner. So if I pop that out, then I can move it around freely. Cool. And what I want to do is replace the hot lead with my own. Whichever one is hot, I don't know, but I'll use a tester to figure that out. I'm not sure which would be easier. It would be cooler if I could tap into that. That way, you know, you can still disconnect the whole thing. You don't have any extra wires hanging over, but I'm not sure which one is the wire that I'm looking for. We'll see. Okay, I plugged the subwoofer enclosure back in to the main wiring harness, and I unplugged the cigarette lighter so I can test these leads. I have a black lead and I have a green lead with a red stripe. I'm I'm going to test them both, even though black isn't usually positive. You never know. Alright, I have two leads, a black one and a green one with a red stripe. It's not usually the black one that is positive, but I'm going to test them both anyway. On black, nothing. On green with the red stripe, there we go. So green with the red stripe is hot. Okay, tracing green with the red stripe up into the wiring harness. And there it is, top left corner. Now I'm just gonna double check that to see if that's a match. All right, testing green with the red stripe. Cool, green with the red stripe still. All right, I'm going to cut into here, cut this electric tape, loosen up this part of the harness, and tie in my, cut the old lead to the cigarette lighter, or not the cigarette lighter, the 12-volt socket, and tie my own new lead in. All right, there it is. Green with the red stripe. It's like dark green, whatever. There it is. The point of no return. Uh-oh. Did I cut the wrong one? I cut the wrong one. Now that I look at it, that looks a little bit more like a blue. Amateur. Alright, let's not talk about what just happened. Blue with the pink stripe. And that should be hot. Blue with the pink stripe. Yes. all that's left is I have to run the red wire to the auxiliary fuse block. Alright, my new hot lead is routed. Now I just have to bolt it to the fuse block. Alright, the auxiliary lead is attached. It's a 20 amp fuse. We should now have juice from the auxiliary battery. I'm going to plug this in and see if the green LED lights up. Yep, we're in business. Alright, so it's all buttoned up. We're hot. Fridge is cold. And now all the draw is going to the house battery instead of the crank battery. So now I can run the refrigerator indefinitely without having to worry about killing my crank battery.